Hello, dear students and viewers. I, Harsh Inania, Assistant Professor in Government Law College, Ajmer, is again before you people to discuss the video lecture series, which is presented on our video channel of Government Law College, Ajmer. So let us continue our class of Constitutional Law of India, in which the topic for the day, which shall be discussed and pondered upon between us people, is failure of the constitutional machinery in the state. So far we understood Article 355, which imposes twofold duty upon the center. That is, first one is to protect every state against external aggression and internal disturbance as well. Okay, and the second thing which is imposing the duty upon the center is to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So now let us discuss the various provisions contained in other constitutions of the world. Okay, so let us start with the US Constitution. The US Constitution in Article 4, Section 4 has a provision which provides a duty upon the US federal government to guarantee to every state a republican form of government and to protect the state against invasion, and on the application of the state legislature or of the executive when the legislature is not sitting in the house, against domestic violence. Okay, in this particular provision we can see a vast potential. Okay, and it does not provide the manner in which the guarantee as to the republican form of government may be enforced in a particular state. Okay, so it makes the federal government altogether more powerful in the times of emergency, in which the republican form of government in a particular state needs to be restored. Okay, and the second is the situation of domestic violence in the particular state or against any invasion against that particular state. Okay, now let us also see the provision which is contained in the Australian Constitution. Section 199, Section 119 of the Australian Constitution provides that the center shall protect every state against invasion and on application of the state executive against domestic violence. So both of these countries, that is to say Australia as well as America, has particular provisions regarding the duty upon the federal government to protect the state. But on a closer outlook, if we compare Indian Constitution's provision as well as Australian and American Constitution, we will find there contains an express provision in the American as well as Australian constitutions that a written request on the part of the state is required. Okay, so the request on the part of the state is mandatory over there. On the other hand, in Indian Constitution, it is not provided that what shall happen in such a situation. Okay, so we work in accordance with the convention. Okay, so here unwritten convention has been created, and in which what we do is the central intervention under Article 355 is done only and only in situations when the state requests either on its own to interfere, or if there is a situation in which aggravated form of disturbance is created which is beyond the powers of the state to control, then such an intervention on the part of the central government is done. Is it clear? Because we also know that the law and order is a state subject, Okay, so therefore the central intervention is not done unnecessarily until and unless requested by the state. Okay, so this is the case in our country. Okay, so now let us try to understand various examples. Okay, in America, what happened in 1894 was the situation of Pullman strike. So the president, what did he do? He sent troops in the state of Illinois, okay, so as to combat and counter the situation without the request of the state authority, and there was a very vigorous protest by the state authorities. Okay, the president had justified his action that the quintessential federal functions, namely the carrying of the US mails or the regulation of the interstate commerce, was being interfered with. So this matter went in the US Supreme Court, and the US Supreme Court upheld the president's action. So this is in Ray Debb's case, okay, which is a very important and a landmark judgment. Okay, so by virtue of this particular in Ray Debb's judgment, 158 US 564 1895. Okay, so by virtue of this, we can see that it is a landmark judgment which has created an example that without even the request on the part of the state, the federal government can intervene so as to counter any situation of invasion, or so as to ensure that every state is run by a republican form of government, or to counter a situation of domestic violence. Okay, so such can be in the situations when the work of the federal government itself is interfered or disturbed to a large extent. Okay, so first thing can be this. The second one can be the disruption of interstate trade can also take place. Okay, now let us understand the second situation. In 1963, the federal government of the US had sent its military in the Little Rock to combat the racial disturbances, and this was done on the basis of the US Supreme Court judgment of In Re Debs. Okay, is it clear? So in extreme and urgent situations, even the federal government can act without the request on the part of states as well. Is it clear to you people now? Okay, now let us continue what can be done in India. Okay, since we know a duty is imposed upon the union to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of Constitution. Okay, if it is found that the government of the state is not run or not carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Indian Constitution, what are the solutions available? First solution, which is easily done, can be the imposition of the president rule under Article 356. If the situations are such that do not call for the imposition of the president rule under Article 356, what are the other ways? The other ways can be the dispatch of the military or the forces of the union. Okay, if the state fails to give adequate protection to the central government agencies in that particular state. Okay, so these can be done. These things can be done. It is pertinent here to mention that by virtue of 42nd Amendment of the Constitution, a new provision, that is Article 257A, was introduced in the Constitution, which enabled the central government to deploy any armed forces of the Union or any other force under its control for dealing with grave situation of law and order in any state. Okay? So such a force was subject to the control and directions of the center and not of the particular state government. Is it clear to you people? Similarly, a notable change was made even in the list 1. Okay, the list 1 introduced a new entry was introduced in the list 1, that is entry 2A. Entry 2A, the plain reading of entry 2A is deployment of any armed force of the Union or any other force subject to the control of the Union or any contingent or unit thereof in any state in aid of the civil powers, jurisdiction, privileges, liabilities of the members of such forces while on such deployment. Okay, so the Article 257A raised a good deal of controversy and it was criticized on a large scale. The state regarded this as a limitation in their autonomy, and therefore what happened was, by virtue of 44th constitutional amendment, this Article 257A was repealed, but the entry 2A in the list 1, which gives the legislative as well as executive power to the Union to take necessary actions to deploy armed forces in a state in aid of the civil power, still continues to exist. Is it clear? Now, we should take the example of the case which occurred in Assam. In Sarbananda Sonowal, what happened is the Supreme Court held that the state of Assam was facing external aggression as well as internal disturbance on the large scale illegal migration by the Bangladeshi migrants. Okay, and now due to this particular migration of the Bangladeshi nationals, it calls for the action on the part of Union of India to take all the necessary protection measures for the state of Assam against such external aggression as well as internal disturbance as is vested under the Article 355 of Indian Constitution. Is that clear? Now, let us continue with the other provisions. So, let us read Article 356. Provision in case of failure of the constitutional machinery in state. Article 356, Clause 1. If the President, on receipt of report from the Governor of the state or otherwise, is satisfied that a situation has arisen in which the government of the state cannot be carried in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution, the President may, by proclamation, assume to himself all or any of the functions of the government of the state and all or any of the powers vested in or exercisable by the governor or any body or authority in the state other than the legislature of the state. Okay, so what happens here is, we should understand that such a situation may arise, okay, And now the president, on the basis of submission of the report on the part of governor of that particular state, first situation is this. The second situation is the president can suo motu if he is satisfied that such a grave situation has arisen, and now the government of that particular state cannot be carried in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now what he will do is, he will, by the issuance of a particular proclamation, assume all or any of the functions of the state governments, okay, or all or any of the powers which are vested in the governor or any other body or authority in that state other than the legislature of the state. Okay, so such a situation, if arises, can call for such action on the part of President of India. Now he may by proclamation declare that the powers of the legislature of the state shall be exercisable by or under the authority of parliament. Okay, so if the need arises, he shall, who shall, the President of India shall, by issuance of proclamation, declare that the powers of state legislature shall now be exercisable by or under the authority of parliament. Okay, now he may by issuance of proclamation may make such incidental and consequential provisions as appear to the president, that is to him, to be necessary or desirable for giving effect to the objects of the proclamation, okay, including the provisions for suspending in whole or in part the operation of any provisions of this constitution relating to any body or authority in the state. Okay, so such incidental and consequential provisions which appear to the president as necessary or very much desirable to give effect to the objects of the proclamation, so as to achieve the aims and objects of that particular proclamation which has been issued by the President of India, he may make such incidental or consequential provisions which are very much necessary or desirable. Okay, and such incidental and consequential provisions can include the provisions for suspending in whole or in part of the operation of any provisions of this constitution relating to any body or authority in the state. Is it clear? Now we shall continue our lecture in the coming video. Till then, stay tuned and keep listening to the videos and keep studying. Have a great day ahead.